The evening was cozy, with my best friend Emily and me settling in for a night of binge-watching a gripping series. The soft glow of the TV illuminated the room as we engrossed ourselves in the unfolding drama. However, the tranquil atmosphere was disrupted when we heard peculiar sounds coming from upstairs. At first, it was a faint creaking, as if someone were moving around. I exchanged a puzzled glance with Emily, both of us assuming it was my little sister, Lily, stirring in her sleep. As the sounds persisted, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. "I think Lily's awake. I'll go check on her," I said, pausing the series. Quietly, we ascended the stairs, the creaking sounds growing more distinct. However, when we reached Lily's room, she was fast asleep, her room cloaked in stillness. Confused, I glanced at Emily, who shared my bewilderment. The unsettling sounds continued, now seeming to emanate from various corners of the upper floor. We checked each room, but they were all empty. It was as if the house itself was stirring, whispering secrets that eluded our understanding. A sense of unease settled upon us, and we decided to return to the living room. As we resumed our series, the sounds from upstairs persisted, almost mocking our attempts to ignore them. Emily and I exchanged nervous glances, both of us struggling to rationalize the inexplicable events. The tension reached its peak when, despite the fact that Lily remained asleep, the sounds intensified. It was as if an invisible presence roamed the halls, creating an atmosphere thick with uncertainty. Emily and I exchanged a solemn look, realizing that this was no ordinary night. With a heavy heart, we decided to weather the strange occurrence, attempting to find solace in the series. As the night unfolded, the mysterious sounds continued, casting a pall over our once enjoyable evening. Eventually, the sun began to rise, signaling the end of the perplexing night. Emily and I exchanged weary smiles, acknowledging the shared experience that had woven its way into our memories. We never discovered the source of those haunting sounds, and as we parted ways, there was an unspoken agreement that the events of that night would forever linger in our minds. Though we tried to dismiss it as mere coincidence or an overactive imagination, the inexplicable happenings had left an indelible mark on us. It was a night we would never forget, a chapter in our friendship that added a touch of the uncanny to our shared history. As my best friend Jake and I settled into a cozy movie night, surrounded by the dim glow of the TV screen and the comforting scent of popcorn, little did we know that our night was about to take a chilling turn. We were engrossed in a gripping thriller on Netflix when suddenly, 3 sharp knocks echoed through the silent living room. Startled, I glanced at Jake, my eyes reflecting the surprise mirrored in his. We exchanged puzzled looks, both of us certain that the sound had come from the front door. "I bet that's your mom," Jake suggested, chuckling. "She probably forgot something and came back." I nodded, trying to shake off the unease that had settled in my stomach. "Yeah, you're probably right." I paused the movie and headed to the door with Jake trailing behind me. As we reached the entrance, I grabbed the doorknob, fully expecting to see my mom on the other side. But to our bewilderment, the hallway was deserted. No sign of anyone. I furrowed my brow, glancing up and down the hallway, but it was empty. "Maybe it was just the wind or something," Jake suggested, trying to reassure both of us. We exchanged a nervous laugh and returned to the living room, resuming our movie. Just as we started to relax, the knocks returned, louder and more insistent this time. It was as if someone were pounding on the door with urgency. My heart raced, and I shot a glance at Jake, who looked just as unnerved as I felt. "Okay, this is getting weird," Jake muttered, standing up. "Let's just open the door and see who's playing games." With hesitant steps, we approached the door once more. This time, and as I opened it, a gust of cold wind swept into the room, causing a shiver to run down my spine. But again, there was no one there. The empty hallway mocked our confusion. "What the hell is going on?" Jake mumbled, glancing around as if expecting someone to jump out at us. Before we could make sense of the situation, the door suddenly swung open on its own accord, revealing only darkness outside. A chill ran down my spine, and I exchanged a wide-eyed look with Jake. The eeriness of the moment hung in the air as we stared into the abyss beyond the threshold. The room seemed to grow colder, and an unsettling silence settled around us. And then, as if responding to an unspoken invitation, the knocks resumed, now echoing from within the house. Dread gripped us, and we exchanged a look of shared terror. Swallowing hard, we slowly turned around, our eyes scanning the room. The knocks continued, seemingly moving closer. Without a word, we realized that whatever was at the door was now inside with us. As the knocks intensified, the lights flickered, casting long shadows that danced across the walls. The once familiar living room now felt like a foreign, haunted space. We stood frozen, unable to comprehend the nightmare unfolding around us. The only certainty was that whatever was on the other side of the door was no ordinary visitor. It was something beyond the realm of explanation, and it was inside the house with us.